YouTube, what it do, man? It's your boy Benji, and we back in between the ropes. If you're new, please don't forget to subscribe, and I do appreciate each and every one of y'all that have been subscribing and giving that like button a chop. Man, look, we coming off a crazy weekend of wrestling, so it's only right that after WrestlePalooza made us all look like losers, Wwe Raw bounces back with a solid episode. I will tell you one thing. I'm going to get through this pretty quickly. Seth Rollins and Cody Rhodes face off in the middle of the ring. Seth Rollins lets Cody know that he had the date that he would face Cody again circled on his calendar. He hasn't beaten Cody yet, so that's an interesting reminder here. As Seth went through his promo, the crowd was chanting for CM Punk. That just lets you know that nobody really cared much about the two guys here. Even these are the two dudes that are wearing championships, and they're chanting CM Punk's name. Cody did mention some dope things, that Seth Rollins actually changed his life. He brought out the best in him. I mean, Seth was one of the first people that he matched up against in his triumphant return to the WWE. He was able to see how resilient he was when his pec was torn, and he was able to bounce back and win in a Hell in a Cell match against Seth Rollins. He was able to align with Seth Rollins at WrestleMania 40 and was finally able to add a RHODES nameplate onto a world title. Now that I'm thinking about it, I might watch that match on Patreon, because I haven't seen the entirety, I don't think, of the Cody Rhodes versus Seth Rollins match. Cody mentions Seth's goons, which Seth responds are not just goons, not just a group of people, but they're the future. Seth is the future, and Kobe will be his QB. Don't know why he says that, just take his title. How about that? You be the QB. Do it yourself. Cody asked the question that really leads itself to be the best mic drop of this promo, is that how many of the 3 matches that we've had have you won? Makes perfect sense. Sensible question. How is this dude saying he's going to be the future of the industry, but he can't beat the other guy? We saw the War Raiders versus the New Day plus Penta and Grayson Waller in a no-holds-barred match. Sure, it was a pretty solid match, but why? Team Plenta plus the War Raiders end up winning with a nice Mexican destroyer off the top rope. The Judgment Day is really against Dominic Mysterio, yet for some reason Dom is able to finesse JD Madonna into a match versus RUSEV. We later get to see this match, and JD is, of course, able to put together some really good moments in this match. Yet, RUSEV just wakes up and realizes he's like 2 times the size of this fool, and just plants him on the floor with a couple of slams, and then a Machta kick. He then locks in the Accolade, and then we see Dom in the back, starting to think about interfering. Yet he pauses, and JD taps out. Finn argues with Dom after the match as if Dom was supposed to intervene, but had Dom intervened in this moment, the ref would have literally saw him, and then this would have been disqualification for JD, and JD would have been mad. So, we also know that Dom's a coward, so what would he have done if RUSEV would have attacked him? I'm just more interested in what will happen after the Judgment Day breaks up. I don't really care about this anymore. I mean, we literally have 2 guys who are holding tag team title belts hostage, doing nothing with them again, after everybody complained about this already. Raquel and ROXXANE, God, they're just wasting time, recycling matches. I mean, what is next? We do get to soak in a moment of Stephanie VAQUER with the belt, but for some strange reason, Nikki Bella is still on television stealing airtime. Is there anybody else on the show? Anyone else? Oh, there's Rhea Ripley. And of course, Rhea Ripley says she's going to show up and, of course, come after the belt. Asuka pops up to talk some smack, but it isn't long before Rhea gets in her face and challenges her to a match because he's tired of her being disrespectful. I'm not really sure where this animosity is coming from. I mean, the 2 of them hadn't had many conversations. So maybe Rhea's just been watching Asuka on TV or something like that. Bayley matched up against Roxanne. She's doing this Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde thing to end up beating Roxanne. I mean, I'll let y'all know when I started doing these reviews, I was not a fan of Bayley. We both from the Bay, but baby, hey. No. Not okay. Also, Roxanne is really just turning into Carmelo Hayes with all these losses. Jey Uso and LA Knight finally get their chance to hash things out in the ring, but Jey Uso ends up pinning LA Knight after the Brawns intervene. Why are these dudes here? They could be literally using their talent to do something productive. Go get some gold. We do get a video teaser introducing us to the lore of the Americano family, who are the OGs of Lucha. AJ Styles and Dragon Lee want to challenge these guys to a tag team match and show them how things are done. It'll probably be a solid match, but the only thing I'm really excited about is we get a tag team called AJ Lee. As these two women end up duking it out, there's a moment where Kairi is torn and tries to help cheat in order to assist Asuka and get a victory. But her hesitation opens a window for RHEA to slide in there and secure a roll-up victory. Asuka is not cool with taking the L, so she missed RHEA, and then peer pressures Kairi into beating down Miss Brutality. This is just ridiculous. We then see Io Sky show up in order to allow cooler heads to prevail, but Asuka is not going for it. She does look extremely sad when she hugs Io, and as they release from their embrace, we then see Asuka hit her with a spinning back fist. Dude, RHEA was blue like a smurf. But Kabuki Warriors are back. This will probably be a tag team match between the 40s women. Not really hyped for that. Don't really know what to say. You likely will not get Punk on TV for a while, at least until Night After Night of Champions. And Cena only has about 5 dates left. Roman is gone, so there's not really much to look forward to anymore. Let's just take a look at what people got to say online. John Cena's Fire Rumble appearance was a push. Literally. Then he had a awesome idea the curated team cooked up. Heel turn. Nothing came of it. He fought up against a bunch of people that are going to go down as moments that none of us remember, except for maybe the reenactment of the pipe bomb against him and CM Punk. And then he returns in a new event called WrestlePalooza. Gets squashed. Let's just say he does rematch Brock Lesnar and win. I don't really care. I honestly didn't ask to watch this guy fight against Brock Lesnar. There are trillions of moments that we could have watched. For example, John Cena fought against R-Truth for no reason at Saturday Night's main event, and he beats him, and then R-Truth is fired. When R-Truth is brought back to the company, John Cena just acts like nothing happened, and these guys start acting like mimes backstage. When in reality, we could have added more heat for John Cena. But then shortly after, John Cena just turns face just because. Just randomly in the middle of a promo. This dude's supposed to be the GOAT in this year that was supposed to be strategically cooked up, that could have done so much to advance where the state of wrestling is currently. Could have done so much to add light to hundreds of careers. Nothing came of it. People are posting prices for WrestleMania 42. 10 racks to get on the floor. Cheapest tickets are looking like $900. Saturday taxes, you're probably going to be up near $1,000. The 400 section. Dude. We have people like Seth Rollins calling themselves the future. Yet, since he was one of the reasons that John Cena decided to turn heel, he still has not interacted with this dude. Like, to all of us from the outside looking in, John Cena turning heel was supposed to be the biggest moment ever. But how did nobody inside the company not care? The only person that pointed it out was Logan Paul. He's one of the few people that pointed out the true hypocrisy in it. We got ESPN, your WrestlePalooza partner, your pay-per-view partner, writing reviews, completely disappointed with the product they're getting. The finisher spam, which lasted all of 9 minutes, was clearly aimed at shocking more casual audiences. We know that WWE loves their shocking moments, their viral moments. This is funny though. For whatever reason, WWE got cruel along the way, letting Cena have a bunch of kids escort him out during his entrance. only for cameras to zoom in on these kids after the match. There has been wasted time on things like Logan Paul and a weird R-Truth fan revolt thing that led to nothing. Triple H and WWE's credibility have lost all benefit of the doubt here. When Roman Reigns and the Bloodline were on an epic tear, really questionable booking decisions were easily forgiven with the peak heights occurred later. And I'm sure you've seen plenty of these. The WWE WrestlePalooza final grade from ESPN. I'm sorry, the previous joint was from Bleacher Report. I don't know if I mentioned that. I might have said ESPN on accident. The excellent VAQUER versus Sky match saved this show from being truly average. It was a phenomenal display inside the squared circle. Everything else was either underwhelming, a la the short Rhodes and McIntyre matchup, or a setup for a future match, Lesnar dominating Cena. For a card that promised to have epic moments, it fell short of expectations. And I know I just spoke about R-Truth, but this commenter said some valid stuff. It's clear R-Truth doesn't respect himself enough to stand up for himself and say no to this. If he doesn't care, why should we? I think there's probably two parts to this story. At the end of the day, R-Truth is collecting a paycheck. Even though he probably wants to do something else, this is happening. Or maybe just say, you know what, F it. They don't have no visions for me. I might as well just collect a paycheck and act a fool. This is what it is. This is what we want Truth for. For him to be back there putting phones in toasters. Look, dude, I'm pretty critical with a lot of things that I watch. I mean, y'all seen some of my movie reviews. Y'all seen some of my TV show reviews. And y'all seen how I react to these things live. Some of us even watched, I think we watched SummerSlam together live, man. So I appreciate each and every one of y'all that showed up. Dude, I came back into wrestling, bro, watching WWE. WWE is where it all started for me. But I've been opening my eyes to a lot of the other promotions because what's going on, the same game that brought me back, bro, they are pushing me away. And I appreciate each and one of y'all that have joined and really ingratiated me into the AEW family because I ain't going to lie. I'm looking all elite right now. Dude, I just watched an old TNA match. I have no idea what they're putting out right now. In response to all this backlash, this is what they're giving us. Y'all stay tuned to the next video, man. I'm really not going to do too much.